Do you guys ever think about how certain species of birds practice altruism? And that's kind of weird. It says like a couple things. Either they're conscious, which is probably possible, or that being kind is an evolutionary adaptation or advantage. And then you start to think, well, hold on a second. I'm kind. So is that because I'm conscious or because it's an evolutionary advantage? And then you start to think, well, what about like joy and happiness and anger and love? Is any of it real? Are any of us? Anyway, we're reading One Piece chapter 1158. This is Rocks versus Herald. All right, cover page. Here lies the pirate of justice, Kozuki Moria. Okay, Moria's Kozuki? What the heck? That's so random. And to get out of the cover story, which has pretty much given us nothing for God knows how many weeks. But yeah, Rocks versus Herald. Let's check it out. A certain sea, Roger's ship, the Oro Jackson. In the age of legendary pirates, Captain, Captain Roger. I heard Shaki opened up a place on Pirate Island. They say it's unbelievable. Man, Roger and Luffy. The fact that we're seeing so much Roger now, you can see the similarities. We worried we'd never see her again when she quit being Empress, but now we know where she is. Let's go. Doesn't Rocks control Pirate Island? Say, Rayleigh, is it just me, or has Roger been in a bad mood ever since you two spoke in his quarters? Hmm, what did you discuss? Nothing. I wasn't going to say anything to the crew, but I figured I should talk to you one on one, Roger. Was this during our last fight with the Kuja pirates, just before she quit? Shakuyaku didn't seem off back then, like she was sick or something. Or did seem off back then, sorry. I worried she stepped down because of her health. But you're telling me she gave you this during the battle? Yeah, I was speechless. This can only be described as a love letter. Come and make me yours. Damn. She moves hard and fast. And you're not interested? I'd be lying if I said that. I just don't want to be tied down. Well, I do. What? Is Roger saying I want to settle down and you're not interested? I want to be tied down. Well, I do. What the heck? All right. I wonder if that's like the right translation. That's interesting. Come on, man. I ain't giving up. Huh? You're energetic all of a sudden, Roger. Pirates live to plunder, and we don't stop till the prize is claimed. Ain't that right, fellas? Is he still talking about Shaki? Gotta be. Why else would we go to Rock's Island of all places? Everyone's got an equal chance. Let's go and get her. Marks, I'm hungry. Make food. It's already done. Dig in. Sometime later, 40 years ago, the holy land of Marijua. You're impatient, Garling. The previous competition just ended. I'm aware, but while we were completing another assignment, we briefly stopped at that island. It's a non affiliated state, but it has a unique culture. We tried offering them membership in the world government. St. Garling, future elder. But they declined. While their abundant resources would certainly prove valuable for us, we just made an outrageous discovery. It was a completely unexpected find, and the Great One will surely be pleased with it. In 2 years' time, I strongly urge you to hold the next hunt at God Valley. Hmm. This is also interesting. The Great One will surely be pleased with it. Like Garling is already aware, I'm assuming, that Emu exists. Interesting. Now, kind of his en route after Saturn was killed makes a lot more sense. Because if he's already kind of been in the loop for a while, then I see why he's just kind of the first choice off screen. Anyway, Shockey's ripoff bar, Pirate Island. Get in single file line, you idiots. What? It's that much? I don't have that kind of money. Come to the back. You can work it off with 2 years of unpaid labor. Huh? I came all the way from the North Blue. I hear you serve some great whiskey, and that Shockey makes a mean stew. A cute compliment like that makes me smile. But I'm not gonna personally cook for people like you. What? She's just how I dreamed. I'm so happy. Shockey-san, my special bean stew is ready, but we're out of whiskey. Use the cheap rum instead. Anyway, here's your top quality whiskey. 3 cheers for our host's poor service. What happened, Rox? I'm kind of sad that satisfied grin isn't for me anymore. Hmm? Big Mom. See, a woman's intuition is a scary thing, huh? Shut up, I said it's none of your business. What's going on? Dummy. It has to be a woman. The guy's grinning like he's expecting a kid. Shocky, I've come for you. Shocky-chan, it's me. It's the Roger Pirates. Oh, Roger. Roger, how many times do I gotta tell you that this is my island? Didn't you hear fighting at Shocky's is forbidden? So stuff it, you porcupine. Isn't there a huge line out there? How'd you get in here? Did you wait in it? There was a line I hardly noticed. Drink up, everybody. Yeah. I can't stand those guys. They're so noisy. Put it on Newgate's tab. Now leave it on rocks. Yo, Shade, what's up? BB had an off screen birth. That's, yeah. But we're saving it. Roger, where's Rayson? I told him to come, but he said he wasn't feeling well, so he's napping on the ship. Is that you, Roger? I've wanted to see you again so badly. Now let me on your ship. Gloriosa, I told you no, I'm not into lovey-dovey women who throw themselves at me. But if Shocky asked to be different, that makes no sense. I'll pass. Yo, isn't Newgate still here? I want to drink with him. He left. Damn it. Rayleigh, why didn't you come? The MF goat is about to be born into this world? He certainly is. We'll deliver Bink sake. Whoa, Shocky's fainted. Empress Shocky, I want to take care of her. Let me help. Move it, boys. Keep away from her. Shocky rules Shaku Yaku's rules ensured that anyone coming to the island to visit her establishment would be granted safe passage. Jeez, that was so hard for me. Oh god. All right, even the fiercest of pirates would keep the place or peace if they crossed paths. But back at sea, all bets were off. Realm of the Dead Elbath. Okay. We got Loki hanging on in a huge clash between Harold and Rox. This is going to be so sick when it's animated. It's crazy that I feel like we've already gotten just as much fighting that we've seen of Rox as we have with Roger, even though we've been introduced to Roger like, you know, hundreds of chapters ago, which is crazy to think about. Harold, the government's really got you wrapped around their finger. I was torn. Is this really something worth killing your friend over? And in the end, you just bowed down to them? Dumbass, you're being their fool. Is this their answer? They see you giants as nothing but a military asset. You'll all be enslaved as soldiers. What happened to your warrior's pride? Don't you have your own will? Quit talking like you know everything. Our warriors created a history of violence. Elbaf is shackled by it, held back from achieving true peace. You seem to have a good heart, Harold, but a long time ago, this country was attacked by giants. That kind of fear doesn't fade so easily. Listen, Rocks, no matter how foolish the celestial dragons may be, they still have the influence in the world to bring Elbaf into the loop. Stop it, you cowardly rat. Consider our business closed. You won't be getting another invite from me again. I'm a king. I can't throw away my people's lives by following a villain like you into a losing battle. There was no true conclusion, but this unorthodox friendship had come to an end. The two would not meet again for some time. Not until the day of a certain incident. More news about Rocks. He isn't coming back, Loki. Shut up, you lying hag. Would you like some juice? 39 years ago, West Blue, God Valley. Aw, two twin boys. They're so cute and they've got your red hair. I hope that they grow up to be as bright as you. Don't worry, we'll pitch in since their daddy is away. Thank you, mister. Have you settled on names for them? Shanks and Shamrock. Dang. Okay. All right. All right. Let's talk. We still have God Valley to go with all the matchups. We sure do. The rats are here. Dude, what a good chapter. There were so many interesting things in this chapter, I thought. Like the first one being in Shade, I don't know if you read like a different version of this, but the scene where Rayleigh gives Roger the note that Shockey handed to him, and Roger's like, "And you're not interested?" And Rayleigh says, "I'd be lying if I said that. I just don't want to be tied down." And then Roger says, "Well, I do." What do you think about that? Is it different translation for you? What does it say? Because I do implies like, obviously Roger wants to settle down, which is, I think, very unexpected. I wasn't expecting him to say that. That's just my translation. I don't know what the actual one is, but Roger was trying to be a man of a household. So kind of a similar implication then. That one's more clear cut with what you just said, but like, well, I do still kind of stands to reason he wants to, yeah, maybe not completely give up the pirate life, but at least settle down for like a little bit. I think that's interesting. He was just in his love phase. Yeah, that's true. We are seeing a lot of that. And this whole like love shape triangle, whatever that's happening is fun. Just like as a little side note. And then also the fact that Saint Garling, when we get that flashback, says, again, for me, it says, and the Great One will surely be pleased with it. In 2 years' time, I strongly urge you to hold the hunt at the next God or at God Valley. But uh, that the Great One will surely be pleased, which is cool because now him kind of getting, the straight shot from, his position as a celestial dragon to an elder, off screen makes way more sense. Because if he's already in the loop, about Emu, then like it just makes sense that he would be the kind of one of the next persons or person in line. So it makes sense. It's cool. Garling is truly Emu's greatest soldier. It seems like it. I can't wait to see more about him. And then I love just kind of getting the Roger Rocks headbutt in Shocky's bar. So cool. And Newgate kind of being lonely slash getting hit on by Bucking. And yeah, I love the clashes we're getting between Harold and Rocks. Looks super sick. But then we're on God Valley 39 years ago with two twin boys and a red-haired mother who reveals to us two twins named Shanks and Shamrock. This okay. So we're on God Valley. Presumably, like we have evidence. We don't have proof that this woman is from God Valley. She could have just arrived here. We don't know. But let's just assume with what we're given that she is a native resident of God Valley. And this is where the weird, purge thing hunt happens. And still think Garling as their father is a pretty decent assumption. And kind of tying that in, the hunt is here. I don't know if Garling has any say over, he suggested we should go to God's Valley, which they ultimately do. So clearly he has some say as to where this happens. And this woman, is possibly, a resident of God Valley. And so I think that kind of makes the Garling as their father stronger. I mean, he could be like an uncle, like he could be I don't know. But I think the Occam's razor is definitely that, he's their dad, even though they have the last name, I understand. Um, I freaking love Harold, even though it hurts me to see them part away like Calgara and Noland. Yeah. Yeah, that is really interesting, Shade. That's a really cool thing that I never thought about, like, uh, the parallels between Calgara and Noland. And possibly Rocks and Harold if it kinda works out the same way, or maybe they come back and, they kinda set things straight, in a way. They don't even have to well, they said that they would meet again, but yeah, dude. Shanks and Shamrock. This is cool. I'm so interested to see, like, obviously, all the matchups and, like, you know, the, devil fruit stuff and the clashes between, all these different factions. I'm super interested in that, but this last panel just kind of reinvigorated my interest in wondering kind of how Shanks and Shamrock, went separate ways, how they kind of went down different paths. I'm very interested to see how that shapes up and, probably the parallels between like Doflamingo and Rocinante and kind of how this nature versus nurture debate, comes up in the series from time to time. It's gonna be really cool, dude. Like, God Valley might be I'm expecting God Valley to be, like, the greatest thing, like, in One Piece since, like, Marineford or something, like, if not better. I expect it to be better than that. Dude, it's gonna be so crazy. Like, we're gonna be reading the chapter during the God Valley flashback. Marineford, like, 10.0. It's gonna be insane. All the hockey, all the powers. It's gonna be so sick, dude. I'm so hyped for it. I'm so pumped. The coming chapter is about to be the beginning in God Valley. Dude, yes. 11:59. I wouldn't even be surprised just for some arbitrary math piece if he waited to start the Valley flashback on like 11:60, just as like an even number. But it yeah, I'm the way it's set up, it's like, yeah, dude. Even if the beginning of the flashback is just kind of like Shanks and Shamrock's mom like walking around town, like I would still count that as like because we're at God Valley, right? In Goda we trust, dude. Like I know people have talked about it, already before, when we're talking about Oda, but like I don't think people truly understand how impressive it is that he's been writing this story for like 26 years and it just gets better and better. And it's this massive cohesive unit of, through lines and storytelling and world building and all this stuff. Like that's so hard to do. If anybody who's ever written a story ever uh has written a story, sorry, they would understand because it's so hard. It's so hard, and it's crazy. I mean, it was just, he just did Monsters before this, and that was it, right? Like, if this is maybe he's done other stuff, but if if Monsters was the only thing he did before this, that's even more impressive. It's even more clout for him because to go from, like, a one shot to this massive story is insane. Reading comprehension is common against amongst people. I just kinda, proved your point there. I cannot read today, dude. I had to do a bunch of work before this, especially the people online. I agree. Bro, when I go to comment sections of, like, YouTube videos and, like, somehow the top comment with the most likes is just so grammatically incorrect that I start to have a stroke as I read it, and I'm like, how are you guys upvoting this, dude? Like, who has upvoted this that can actually comprehend what this person is saying? Like, it's crazy. Yeah, college is effing me up too right now. Dude, it's tough. It's tough out there. But yeah, I mean, just a goated writer and a goated story. It's so sick, man. And we're alive reading this right now in 2025. Like, it's a blessed time. It's a blessed time to be alive. Well, a little bit. I won't get into the other stuff, but we got One Piece at least. But OP is still here, so I'm fine. Truer words have never been spoken. Dude, I'm excited, man. Did I read Kagurabachi yet? No. Um oh yeah. Is there an anime? I'd like to start with the anime. This is still on that TBR list. Dude, you know what I did start watching what is it? Gachia Kuda. That show is so sick. I don't know what it did for me, but it did it. I fucking love that show. In fact, the new episode just came out today. It's so cool. I might low key like start reading it. I might do some reactions of that, and if I do that, I would also do, like, Kagurabachi. I would do both of those. I was thinking about adding them to the channel because I definitely want to do some more readings on here. I would actually love to get caught up with Hunter x Hunter, on the channel. The chapters are so dang long, though. I mean, compared to, like, One Piece chapters, but I think it'd be cool. Dude, it is peak shonen for the new gen. There's a lot of stuff that's been coming out I've been enjoying that's new. Like, I love Mashal. I'm excited for that to keep going. Um, got Yakuda. Obviously, we got, Demon Slayer and JJK. There's a lot of cool stuff out. And there's so many more I have yet to like really dive into. It's peak. I think what I would really love from an anime or a manga that I haven't really seen to like kind of the flavor of genre that I'm looking for, if you will, is like a good like sci-fi. Like I don't think it's animated, but Blam, I believe is how it's pronounced, but it's blame with an exclamation point. That seems like a really cool sci-fi manga. And like I don't know, I just there's just certain aspects of anime that like when I see it, I'm just like, I don't know if I'm a fan of this. Like, I don't know. Some of it's just the color palette and the um animation style, but some of it is just like if there's too many robots, I'm like, okay, everything doesn't have to be a robot. You know what I mean? I don't know. 6 out of 10 for you for the last couple of JJK arcs. I love Gojo, but I don't know. I'm like a few episodes into that season. I forget what season it is, but I love Gojo, and I think he's dope, and he's got a dope ability, and he's cool. But I don't know. I want to go back to the squad, you know. But I don't know. I kind of felt that way in Hunter x Hunter when the gang split up. Um, but then I was like, okay, no, never mind. Kurapika's like the dopest character ever. Um, I was just like, oh damn, like we're splitting the gang up. I just wasn't expecting it. I don't initially like when animes do that or mangas, but usually they end up winning me over. You finished the manga for JJK? I wonder how many chapters that is. I need to just read more. But I already have like so much stuff I'm reading already. Like just for like my own personal pleasure. 271 chapters. That's a lot. I started this series, this fantasy series. I think it's from 1987. It was before Martin wrote Game of Thrones, but it's called Memory, Sorrow, and Thorn, the series, and this is the Dragonbone chair. And this is what inspired George Martin to uh, write Game of Thrones. Actually, with Patrick Rothfuss, Name of the Wind. You know, he said it was groundbreaking, changed the entire genre, and paved the way for so much modern fantasy, including mine. Brandon Sanderson, the dude from um, Sun Eater, Christopher. Or wait, no, sorry, different Christopher. But yeah, it's sick. It's like Lord of the Rings, but a little more modernized in a way. Like it's still got that same Lord of the Rings vibe though. You read Hajime no Ippo? What is that? That's a lot of chapters. Oh yeah. Okay. I've seen this before. I wasn't like caught up with it, but yeah, this is an OG. Still peak. Dude, I want to get into some like boxing animes. There's that one um with the dude who like fights in like an augmented like arm league, but like he either doesn't use it or like has a really crappy version of one. I put all the books that I was reading on hold since college started for me, so I wish to get back to them ASAP. Yeah, I feel that. Same for me, dude. It just really, as soon as school starts, it just sucks the life out of you in terms of like wanting to read outside of the reading you already have to do, probably, or the work. It sucks. That's why I like audiobooking because at least I can kind of listen to it in the car. And the audiobook for that Dragon Bone chair is so good. The narrator is peak. Like it sounds like an old wise man is telling me a story in a tavern by the fire. Like it's legit. So good. He's just got that voice. Voice acting's so dope. I want to get into it so badly. I have no idea where to start. I also haven't really looked into it because I'm lazy, but if I'm being honest with myself. But I think it would be so cool doing book narrations, being like a voice actor on an anime. Like it'd be sick. Or a video game, like anything. Be so dope. Even just like an anime that just does like martial arts would be cool, like beyond boxing. Let's see. All right, it is almost 3 o'clock. So Shade, I think I'm gonna wrap this up. It was a pretty sick stream. I'm glad you stopped by. Chapter was super dope. And yeah, I'll have to like look into like doing more kind of reactions or like, read throughs of like different mangas. I think that'd be fun. If I can, set aside some time, I'm definitely gonna do that. But yeah, I'll see you next week. And yeah, take care. See ya.